Okay, so we talked about your Odyssey essay and how you need to find evidence. So once you have your topic, or if you're not quite there yet, you still need to gather information. So you need to look at the Odyssey through the eyes of the ancient Greeks. You're going to use this evidence to write your essay. If it's done correctly, this essay will write itself, okay? So you want to look for your topic focus, whatever it happens to be. If it is all about hubris or Xenia or whatever the topic is, you should be able to gather that information. So I am looking at, in this, the character of Odysseus. I'm focusing on Kleos and Metis. I'm putting my evidence in this column, and I'm going to write the inference or commentary, and then also why is it important, okay? So I took this from Book 9 of the Odyssey. I am Laertes' son, Odysseus. Men hold me formidable for guile in peace and war. This fame has gone abroad to the sky's rim. So I put down Homer, okay, 7 and 8. So what I want to do instead of saying Homer, because we know it's Homer and we know we're quoting from the Odyssey, the trick is going to be instead of saying Homer, you want to put the book. And this is coming from book 9, okay? So it's 9 dot, okay? And put the dot. 7 through 8 are the line numbers, okay? So that is how we're going to cite the audio. Now, when we're doing a citation, you want to have the book and the line or lines, okay? And remember, we're quoting poetry. So you want to use the slash in order to separate the lines, okay? So do you see where I had the quote and it's in quotation marks, but then there's a slash. That slash indicates that this is the next line that we're going to look at. Here's another line, okay? So this was lines 7 through 8. And when I'm discussing this with you, you want to make sure that you have book 9, the dot, followed by 7 through 8, which are the lines, okay? And it still holds true to the same thing. We don't want a period inside of the quotation marks, okay? Because it's at the end. If we were going to use this, it would have to go at the end and we would set that quote up. Now, what you have when you have your evidence, you also have to give context. This is critical, okay? So, book 9 is where Odysseus begins his first person storytelling to the Phaeacians after being shipwrecked and rescued by King Alcyones and Queen Arete. Odysseus finally reveals his identity to them. These lines appear right after the start of his narrative when he officially introduces himself. Until this moment, the Phaeacians do not know who he is or was. So, in this piece of evidence, Odysseus is proud of his reputation. He immediately describes himself as formidable for guile, meaning he sees cleverness central to who he is. He's also aware of his fame and assumes others admire and should admire his cunning. His identity is told both through lineage, Laertes, and his reputation, which is a kleos. Um, these are two major Greek values, okay? Then he is about to tell the story to prove how cunning he is. In book 9, he will show us the Cyclops episode and ultimately the example of his guile. Ultimately, this quote is significant because it demonstrates the interdependence of Metis and Kleos. Odysseus gains glory because of his cunning and embraces cleverness as it is not just a tool, but also a defining heroic virtue. The lines um, capture the essence of Odysseus' identity, a hero whose greatest weapon is his mind and whose quest for lasting fame depends on his ability to think, adapt, and strategize. So I answered in this what is inferred, the commentary, and why is it important. That is a part down here. You have to do this. And now that I've done that, I basically um, put in most of a body paragraph for what I would be talking about if my focus was on Cleos and Metis, going back to Odysseus. So your job is going to be for each book, you have to give a minimum of one dialectical journal entry. So we're going to start with A Goddess Intervenes, and this is where we're going to work on this together. Now, you can also use the italicized sections, but I want you to pick mainly from the lined quotes because this is going to be text evidence, okay? Now, let's say you want to pull something from the italicized section, which is paraphrasing the books. You're totally able to do that. However, you have to cite it, okay? So we would say that this is coming from book 9, and then we're just going to call it up at the top, it'll have, and see the A? You're just going to do that as, in this case, since it's book 1, it would be 1.A, because that will tell me it's coming from the italicized section. Okay, make sure to find a quote to write about and put it into the dialectical journal for each of the different sections. We'll probably talk a little bit more about what to do. You'll notice that the I'm Laertes Sun came from this section, which is part of book 9. But once again, you can also pull from the italicized section as well.